A very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be tuning in. From the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is Milwaukee Admirals hockey. Tonight the Admirals with a record of 4-0-2-0, 10 points, third place in the Western Conference Midwest Division, face off against the Rockford Icehogs, a record of 7-3-1-0, 15 points, first place in the Western Conference Midwest Division. Welcome to our pregame show. Milwaukee extended its season opening point streak to 6 games with a 3-2 overtime win over Texas Wednesday night. For the third straight game, the Admirals trailed 2-0 before mounting a comeback. Goaltender Marek Mazanec improved his record to 3-0 and lowered his goals against average to 1.96. He turned aside 33 of 35 shots for the victory. Goals from Anthony Boteto and Austin Watson in the third period. Mark Van Gilder scored the game-winning goal 4 minutes into the overtime session for Milwaukee. Tonight, the Admirals are still without Kevin Henderson and Jonas Järvinen due to injury. Brian Rodney is serving the final game of a 2-game suspension. He was penalized for a hit to the head last Saturday against the Texas Stars. So Rodney out tonight. He will be back in the Admirals lineup Sunday when the team travels to Des Moines to take on the Iowa Wild. This Rockford club has played the most games in the American Hockey League so far. Tonight is their 12th game of the season. Last night, the Icehogs lost at home in the only AHL game last evening, losing to Charlotte 5-3. This is the first of 12 meetings between the Admirals and the Icehogs, and the first of 6 to be played here in Milwaukee. Last season, the Admirals went 5-6-1-0 against Rockford. In this building, 2-3-1-0 was the record. Toyota is proud to be the official vehicle of the Milwaukee Admirals. Elevate your style with the 2014 Toyota Corolla. Bold, aggressive lines, cutting-edge design, and advanced technology will take your game to the next level. Music and high-energy gaming all under one roof. Bring your night to life at Potawatomi. Time for tonight's Master Lock Tough Under Fire keys to the game, and key number 1 is getting off to a good start. The Admirals have been outscored 7-1 in first periods this season. Milwaukee has only scored their opponents 15-6. Key number 2 is the power play. Milwaukee 0 for its last 9 with the man advantage. That spans the last 2+ games here at home. And key number 3 is bringing the physical play, but not getting caught up in any retaliation type stuff with this Rockford team. This Rockford club traditionally is a team that is extremely physical, extremely fast, and they really bring it to you. So the Admirals need to be ready for that here this evening. On Milwaukee.com, Milwaukee's daily magazine, dining, sports, news, music, movies, and more on Milwaukee.com. The best seats, the best prices, the best perks, the best of Brewers baseball. It's all yours with a 2014 season ticket package. Place your deposit today. For more info, call 414-902-HITS, 414-902-4487. Fans, Robert Hack Diamonds is paying cash for your gold and silver on the corner of 76th and Layton and at 6969 Northport Washington Road. And Aldi invites you to compare their brands with the big national brands. Switch to Aldi and save. It's simply smarter shopping. We will get to the latest installment of the American Hockey League's Plays of the Week, as we do every Friday night. But first, a conversation with Admirals head coach Dean Evason. It's the Milwaukee Admirals and the Rockford Icehogs from the BMO Harris Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Julie, can I give you this? Give that to Charlie.
Back at the BMO Harris Bradley. Back at the BMO Harris. Back at the BMO Harris Bradley Center on the pregame show with Admirals head coach Dean Evison, a 3-2 overtime win over the Texas Stars on Wednesday night, down 2-0 again, but you found a way to come back and pull out the victory.
Yeah, obviously we're, making the guys aware, which clearly they do, but we can't continually, get behind like we have and expect to win hockey games. And, we praise our group for pushing and for doing that and staying with the game and but again it's something that we're all aware of. I know the players are very aware of it, so hopefully we can have the start that we want.
And you are winning these games, and you're outscoring opponents after the first period 15-6. Is there any consolation in that at all? Obviously the wins certainly help, but does that give you any hope that the first period could be that good because you are playing that well after the first period?
Yeah, we'll never be disappointed with points for sure, but there's always no matter how the game goes, there's always an area in the game that that you want to clean up, and certainly when you continually have a pattern like we are in the first period, we've got although yes, the second and third was great. I mean, we love how our energy never drops and we just continue to play, but we've asked the group, as we have as a coaching staff, to evaluate what we do the day before and then the morning skate and our preparation. We've asked the guys individually to do it, and then collectively as a group to be aware of it and talk about it, and hopefully we can rectify it.
And you're starting to play some games now too, so you're getting out of the possibility of saying, well, we haven't played in a while, it's hard to get going. You are going to get to that point now, you're playing some games.
Yeah, we got to throw all the excuses out, that's for sure, and just play. And we've praised the group before last year and this year as well, is that we work, and our work ethic isn't a problem in the first period. It's making some mental errors that we thought, a couple of ill-advised penalties maybe early, get you behind the 8 ball right away, but our work ethic, we expect our group to continue to do that regardless of the score.
You were down a man here the other night because of a late scratch to Mika Salamaki, a late illness. That got you to put guys, jumble the lines a little bit. You had to, but you ended up putting Tuzan, Liambus, and Rask, a lot of energy, splitting them up a little bit here tonight. But we continue to praise them, and rightly so. They've been fantastic.
Yeah, they drove our team in the third period. As coaches, when you're down and you're in a desperate situation, a lot of times you want to flip the lines, and sometimes it's not for the right reasons. But the reason we flipped those 3 guys and put them and we went down to 3 lines and put them each on 1 line is they had so much energy, and collectively they were our best line. We didn't want to. We continually don't want to break them up, but to give the group and those other 2 lines energy and to play the game the right way, we split them up. So as a credit to them, Rask he'll play with Salamaki and Watson tonight to try to get a little bit of his energy up with them, but they drove our group for sure in the third period.
A kid like Liambus, you were seeing, and fans are seeing, there's so much more to his game than just swinging his right and left arms out there, and I think you saw it immediately. I remember his first game, he made an outlet pass from the defensive zone that stuck in everybody's head, that it was a good pass, a smart play, and I mean, there's there's tons more with him.
Well, there's no question, and you know, I mean, that's our job, is to try to develop here in Milwaukee. But you know, I think a player like that gets a reputation, and everybody just gets stuck. I think the refs get stuck on it, that he's just a tough guy, and he's going to run around, and he's going to, you know, take bad penalties, and he's going to hit people from behind or what have you. He's been in total control, and a huge credit to him, how he's developed here as a player, and he showed so well in Nashville when we were there. Barry Trotz and the staff there were very impressed with his work ethic and his attention to detail, and he's become a very good player. He doesn't sit on the bench. He doesn't play 2 minutes a game. He doesn't go out and just fight. He plays a role for us, and you know, a huge credit to him. And then of course the other guy on the line is Tuzina, who you know, it's just a wonderful sign by Fenton, Paul Fenton, our general manager, to bring a guy in with that energy. He kills penalties for us. He's just an upbeat guy. He's that guy in your dressing room that everybody loves, and he's a guy on your team that the opposition hates. And you know, he's if he can stay in check with his emotions, he can be a very quality player for us as well.
Some of the names have changed with Rockford, but you know what you're going to get here tonight from them.
Yeah, there's no question. They were going to play the same way. Teddy Dent, their coach, coaches one way, and they play hard. They've got a veteran presence. Obviously, Winchester's a guy that will key in on here tonight. They've got a big, strong team that that goes to the net very hard. They put a lot of pucks on the net. Going to be a good challenge for our defense and our forwards that goes in front of Mass.
Very good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Admirals head coach Dean Evison. We're back in a moment on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
All right, so this next thing, it just kind of fades out. I'll give you the out cue for this Plays of the Week thing here.
Scary comebacks in Rockford, Illinois. I'm Mike Peck.
So there you go. When you hear that guy's name, I'm Mike Peck, that's when you can go to the next break. So
Scary. Scary comebacks, spooky penalty shots, and shivering turn of events. Welcome to a Halloween version of the American Hockey League's Plays of the Week. I'm Mike Peck. We start this week's voodoo-like highlights in Iowa, where the Stars and Grand Rapids Griffins were tied 2-2 in the final minute of the third period with Iowa on a power play. The Stars were primed to trick the Griffins and treat the home fans, but not so fast.
Phillips walks to the left wing dot, backs up, gave it right to the stick of Emerton. He's got Ferraro streaking up the right wing. Emerton catches up. Ferraro in, shot, score! Landon Ferraro with 35 seconds to go, shorthanded, and the Griffins lead 3-2.
With the win, the defending champs are now a frightening 4-0-1-1 in 6 road games, thanks to Bob Kaiser on Wood AM and FM radio in West Michigan. Heading into Sunday's game, Iowa was riding a 3-game winning streak, thanks in part to this shootout win to rattle the Chicago Wolves 5-4. Here is Joe O'Donnell on the Iowa Wild Broadcasting Network.
Jumping over the boards for the Iowa Wild is Taylor Matson. He can win it here for the Wild, who are down in this shootout 2-0. Matson from right to left picks up the puck, carries his way in, couple of moves, make the shot, he scores!
Despite the loss, the Stars have been scary good here in the early season. Last Wednesday, Colton Sevier scored an unassisted goal, his first of 2 goals, in a 4-1 win over Oklahoma City at Cedar Park Center. In his last 2 home games, Sevier has a mesmerizing 5 goals.
Now racing forward, Sevier. To the steal, Sevier took a hack shot, he scores! Oh, what a great individual effort by Colton Sevier!
And speaking of scary good starts, the Manchester Monarchs are off to their best start in franchise history. On Saturday, Monarchs rookie forward Nick Shore put the team ahead to stay with his first professional goal against St. John's. Ken Kale called the action on the WGIR Monarchs radio network.
Now with it over the line is Shore, left side to Savarin to Shore. His shot scores! Nick Shore from the left wing side, beating the goaltender UC Olcanora.
Hamilton's Louis LeBlanc has been the Grim Reaper in overtime on opponents, scoring the OT game winner in back-to-back games in Week 4. After casting a magic spell on Rockford on Tuesday night, LeBlanc was back at it on Friday, this time hunting the Rochester Americans. Derek Wills describes LeBlanc's trickery on AM 900 CMHL.
Dumont stops, turns back towards the blue line, and now cuts across the blue line. Dumont to Schistel to LeBlanc, who scores! For the second time in as many games, Louis LeBlanc, the hero for Hamilton in sudden death overtime.
Penalty shots are a rather scarce occurrence in hockey. The boogeyman was wreaking havoc on breakaways for Albany's Harry Pessinen on Friday night against the Hartford Wolfpack. Pessinen was awarded not 1, but 2 penalty shots against 2 different Hartford goalies. Here is Bob Crawford on Fox Sports Radio 1410 WPOP, Hartford, describing the eerie situation.
Pessinen stopped at 5:03 of the first period by Malcolm on a penalty shot. Now he's going to get a chance against Stager. Here comes Pessinen, the left-handed shot, and he'll move slightly over to the right. Now Pessinen straight in, holding to his forehand. Can't get it behind the right pad of Stager. Wolfpack goaltenders have stopped 2 penalty shots in this game, both against Harry Pessinen. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Penalty shot records in the AHL date back to 1992, and Pessinen is the first player in the modern era of the league to attempt 2 in one game. After earning an opening night win, the Adirondack Phantoms went into a ghoulish-like winless streak. On Saturday, the Phantoms would exercise those demons as Jason Atkinson, the team's leading scorer each of the last 2 seasons, 1992, and Pessinen is the first player in the modern era of the league to it. Bob Rotruck on Q101.7 describes the action.
Here's a pass for Newberry and around a D and on goal, shooting him and save, rebound, goal! Jason Atkinson has his first of the year, and it's 3-1 Phantoms.
Portland started the season in a foggy winless drought, but carved out 2 victories in Week 4 to climb out of the depths of the Atlantic Division.
in 2 games. Last year, splitting those games 1-1 with a 307 goals against and a save percentage at 92.4%. Also 41 games last year with ECHL Toledo. He went 20-14-5 with a 2.36 goals against, save percentage at 91.2% and 2 shutouts. Played junior hockey in the Western League with Everett from 2007 through 2012. A second-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks in 2. Energy tip of the game. Now's the time to get your home ready for the winter heating season. Apply weather stripping or caulk around windows and doors to prevent heat loss. You'll be able to turn the thermostat down this winter. That means more money in your pocket.